I worry Zeb's in over his head with all of this. Good thing we showed up when we did. Sure, always.
Any closer. Oh, you're not protectorate. I think the sovereign. Huh?
Looks like a fight.
What's that noise? That was a close one. Thank the Sovereign. Thank you for saving me. I'm waiting here for my partner. We both fled the base separately. If you see him, please send him my way. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, and please, take this with you as a token of my thanks.
Let this log serve as a record of the fact that Sentry's first-class Briggs and Jakes are both still loyal to the Protectorate and the Sovereign, despite their acts of desertion. The mental state of Brigadier Montelli has been rapidly degrading over the past few months, and the Vox relay station is no longer safe for even the most loyal subjects. Initially, we assumed he was simply being overly cautious by increasing base security beyond the standards that are required by regulations.
Lay low, Commander.
Ready to waste them. On your command. I'm the one you need to worry about. Combat.
Finally, he started purging the traitors from our ranks. Any infraction, real or imagined, is now seen as an act of treason and deemed grounds for immediate execution. We could no longer live under the abuse of the paradigm. This may make us traitors in the eyes of our superiors, but we will return to be judged when sanity has returned to the Vox relay station.
I'll take care of him, Commander.
Armed and ready.
to take the heat off you, Commander. Let's say whip.
Keep howling. We're coming for you.
Let me handle this.
Hole in the head. You lot couldn't hit the broadside of a freighter.
Matriarch's here, all right? Let's put our heads together. See these half-eaten remains? They're a sign. Matriarchs lose their appetite when they're on the verge of going into a state of torpor. She'll have retreated into hiding to conserve her energy. But I got one way to get her attention. You know how Doc mentioned pheromones? Well, just so happened that I procured some raptidon glandular extract in my travels. Should do the trick. A matriarch with 3 full stomachs ain't coming out of hibernation unless she senses a threat to her authority. She hates rivals. Ain't one who leaves anything to waste. Any hunter worth a damn would say the same. If I can't find a practical use for what I've salvaged, it'll find a use in research or in exchanging for bits. Lucky for us, this extract ain't exactly in high demand. Any other questions, or are you ready to meet this matriarch? I was inquiring more about your current manner of fortitude, but I'll take it. All right, let's do this. What I wouldn't give for a... Got something that needs doing, Commander? See these half-eaten remains? She'll have retreated into hiding to conserve her. You know how a matriarch with 3 full stomachs ain't coming out of hibernation unless she senses a threat to her authority. She hates. All right. Phew. We should harvest a limb from the matriarch while the body's still warm. This drainage pipe must be coming right from the Vox relay. They're lucky the Raps ain't chewed their way through yet.
Auntie's Choice is the proud maker of Spacer's Chaw, Zero-G Brew, and antibiotics. Everything you need to get through your day.
I've been bartering with defectors. Traded one horse wagon for a whole stand of prestige horse oil. Straight up. And no, those slackwits don't even try their I was thinking the slightest scintilla of success so believable.
Back again? I hope the hunting has gone well. Certainly, if you've procured the right materials. I've been fine-tuning the procedure in the meantime. I do believe it'll be as smooth as Crabble butter.
I'm gonna assume Crabble butter's especially smooth, because I'm ready to feel like myself again. The material we harvested from the skeleton Crabble could allow me to fire off scalding shell shards. They'd pierce through armor easily, I imagine. And the part from the Raptidon matriarch should let me camouflage myself at will, like other Raps can. I'd be able to close the distance and heal you up without the enemy noticing. I believe either option would suit me fine. Care to share your thoughts? Then I will. And you know what? This makes me the first of Auntie's soldiers to graft with the skeleton's claw. I rather like the thought of being a pioneer. If you don't mind, I'll go ahead and take this spare part off your hands for my own research.
Oh, the skeleton crabble will be a splendid match for you, Inez. Go on now. Get sorted while I get this machine up and running. Mind the Raptidon drool on the table. No need to be nervous. I promise.
Thank you for the bedside manner, Commander. As you can tell, I've got a nervous temperament and jump at the sight of my own shadow.
Enough distractions, please. I need the utmost focus for my work. This is beautiful work. My best yet. How does the limb feel, Inez? Any numbness? Pain?
Yeah, both. Body's not accustomed to the presence of another limb. Feels like I've got an extra passenger in my nervous system. But it certainly beats feeling like I'm bleeding on the inside. Or fighting the urge to feast on raw human flesh. Like last time.
Well, I'll certainly be having words with that surgeon, leaving you in a state like that. Now, you come back straight away if anything bothers you.
Will do, Doc. I thank you. And you, Commander, without your help, I don't know what I might have done. Whatever you need going forward, I'm there. You got my word. I feel strange. In a good way. Auntie's documentation doesn't describe the side effects of grafting with a crabble, but so far, not hearing complaints from me. I'd say this officially puts me back in full fighting form. If you ever thought I might slow you down, you can give those fears a kiss goodnight. Good. I can't rightly take a look without contorting myself in front of a mirror, so it's a comfort to have someone with a keen eye taking notice. I got a good feeling about this partnership of ours. Just want to reiterate that I'll make good on my end of the deal. I plan on proving my worth to you and to Auntie, no matter what it takes. Well, then I guess I ought to open the eyes of those who don't quite see it that way yet. I appreciate you hearing me out. We should move on. Seems you've been scouted by Fairfield's finest to assist our efforts in the war. You know, since the ceasefire will inevitably fail. If you do, it'll be great for the folk here. And great for my resume, if I'm honest. Few bullet points like that, maybe it'll be enough to win me a spot on a higher rung. And you? If you help, what are you getting out of this? Uh-huh. I've heard that one before. Ain't had many dealings with the Earth Directorate myself. You're the first agent I ever met, in fact. But you get things done. I trust you. As for the rest of your organization, can't really say. They hate corporations, I've heard that much. But what about you? You buy into their policy too? No, not all. Look, I'm sorry. I ain't intending to get into any grievances here. Let's just say I'm a little dubious about the whole keeping corporations and corrupt governments in check thing. Ain't seen evidence of it yet. But maybe you're liable to prove me wrong. Anyhow, reckon we should keep moving. How personal are we talking? Yeah. Figured. I want to say up front that I got nothing against you or your crew. Ain't one to judge the firearm by its plating. And so far, you ain't given me reason to doubt your character. But the Earth Directorate itself? it's got much to answer for. The Earth Directorate swore a promise to every colony out there. That if you plea for help, help will come. Maybe not immediately, but you know, maybe sometime this decade. But that's all a heap of shit. You know how many of us in Tau Ceti tried to send messages? And when that didn't work, how we begged the stars for the Earth Directorate to save us? They never responded. Never showed up. Not when I was a child, certainly not by the time Auntie's Choice came around. You ask me, you're selling folk a lie. I get that. There are a lot of folk out there with grievances, but we waited decades, Commander. There's being stretched too thin, and then there's just not caring. Look, I ain't holding you to account for the Earth Directorate's ills. No more than anyone would hold me to those of Auntie's Choice. We're our own people. No matter how often I'm hit in the face with that fact, with you, with Ethel, it's rather easy to forget at times. But talking through this reminds me. And I appreciate it, Commander. Nor do I. Fine by me.
We're closed.
Did you not hear me? This place is closed. No learning today about how everything happens according to the obscure calculus of an indecipherable plan. Why are you asking? Who are you?
The people she tried to kill.
By the architect. I had no idea. I wish I could say it was unbelievable. I was afraid she was becoming a danger to herself and to others. But this is horrifying.
Yeah, imagine how we feel. Why don't you tell us where she is so we can make sure she ain't being a danger to herself or others?
And how are you going to do that?
That ain't something you ought to be concerning yourself about.
If you think I'm going to help you do what I think you're talking about, you are deluded.
I may be deluded, but you're lucky you ain't dead. Seeing how she seems partial to using her friends as victims.
Does she? It occurs to me that you have provided no proof of what you're accusing her of.
Why don't you take a long look at me? This is all because she betrayed us. Her team, her friends, even the one whose life she saved in Triangulum.
By the architect. You're Niles, aren't you? She mentioned you a few times, but refused to elaborate. All I knew was that she was fond of you, and that you were dead.
She was fond of me? Then why? Why would she try to kill me?
I can't say, but it may be one of the things she anguished over. An anguish I fear finally overwhelmed her, and could likely be what's driven her to her present course of action. I wish I knew. It's nothing good, I can tell you that. I haven't seen her since before the corporatists invaded the island. I'm afraid she's going to do something terrible, but I just don't know what. Maybe none of this would have happened had I not introduced her to Victor. How did... You saw her terminal, didn't you? Victor's an Order archivist. We were all friends for a time. But then, shortly before the schism, they started talking to some others inside the Order. That's when things became tense. I started to become uneasy, scared, really. She kept getting angrier with the Order the more she worked with Victor and her other contacts. On top of everything else, it became just too much for me. Among other things. For some reason, she was obsessed with the cliffhanger ending of Chapter 6. It was the one where capitalist fanatics brought complete destruction upon Arcadia. But you know how it works. It was somehow miraculously saved at the beginning of the next chapter. It didn't matter to DeVries, though. She just kept going over it and over it. Would have talked to a Crabble about it if there was no one else to listen. That, and the invasion itself, set her mind to dark things. I begged her not to go down that road again. She was so agitated when I first met her. Must have been 7, going on 8 years ago now. She never slept, didn't talk to anyone if she could avoid it. After we became friends, she began to change. Still bothered her from time to time, but I thought it mostly behind her. I couldn't watch her go back to how she'd been. Or worse. We became friends when she... Well, she saved me. I'd said something without thinking. Must have been distracted. We all know to watch every last word we say. For some reason, she interceded on my behalf with an arbiter, and she convinced him he didn't hear what he actually did. No one does that. Void, I didn't think anyone could. We all were, originally, before the schism. But she never gave it up, even when it became illegal to even mention their name. Which was surprising with how angry she seemed to be getting with them, even as she was deep into scheming with Victor and the others. She even continued to sign her messages, "See you in the equation." It's all so confusing. What do you mean? It was where she worked, one of the Protectorate's communications hubs. She didn't speak of it much, at least to me. She may have spoken to Victor about it.
She ain't the only one.
It's difficult to explain. She spoke about things in unfamiliar ways. I felt her words to be freeing, at first. But slowly, I began to feel unmoored, doubting everything I ever knew. She said learning the truth of things was worth it. But now I question whether her truth was just more of her penchant to sow chaos, no matter who may be caught in her schemes. Some days I wish I'd never listened to her at all. Others, I can't help but miss her. Even with everything.
Know a little something about that, too.
I did try to. Once. After the corporatists invaded Paradise Island and took over Fairfield. They seemed to let anyone in there. Some boisterous fellow even tried to recruit me. No. Nearest I could surmise, she'd left just prior to the fall of Fairfield. I'm ashamed to admit, I did break into her safe. She used the same code for everything. 15-778.
That sounds like it could be her agent identification code, Commander.
She said it had some meaning from her previous life. I'd hoped she'd left something for me, but the safe was empty. No. But it had to be someone's fault, right? The Protectorate couldn't possibly have failed to safeguard the colony. And they had to answer the accusations the Order leveled at them. I know I've no right to ask this of you, but when you find her, please remind her of who she used to be. She's unwell, but I know there's still hope for her. That's all I can ask.
Prisoner 34989-393A.
Enemy approximating in our vicinity,
There is no
man.
place for you in the paradigm. You are hereby sentenced to death for the crimes of desertion.
I was sure that was the end of me. Thank you for saving me. I wish I could return your kindness in some capacity, but I left everything behind when I fled. Though you're most welcome to my old protectorate equipment on that ledge. I won't require any of it from here on out. That part of my life is behind me for good, it seems. The commander of the base to the east, Brigadier Montelli, has gone mad. He's executing loyal subjects as traitors on a whim, without even a mention of refreshment. He claims his actions are in the name of the Sovereign, but nothing he does is in alignment with the paradigm. He's obviously ill and needs to be removed. My partner and I are loyal subjects of the Protectorate, but we were forced to flee after pointing out the obvious. Is everyone so oblivious that they can't see what is going on? Unfortunately so. Although this must be the first time. It's only temporary, though. I know the Sovereign will soon put it right. I was to meet my partner in a cave to the northwest of here. We were going to hide until the current Montelli crisis has been resolved. I fled Montelli, but I'm still loyal. Once I stop shaking, I'll continue on my way. Thank you again, stranger. I owe you my life. Thank you again, stranger. Once I stop shaking, I'll head northwest to meet my partner.
people. Sick bastards.
Figured this ship would have...
Trouble ahead.
Exiting to cover. Replenishing.
Craft doesn't sense target. Not seeing a shot. Craft block angry. Come on. Oh.
Again. Thought we were done for now. You again. I heard fighting. What's going on?
We're not Protectorate. We're your ticket out of this hotbox. Esculepe sent us.
Esculepe? Zeb sent you? Wait, you're Niles, aren't you? Count on Zeb to go as far as raising the dead to help. But it's too late. I gather you haven't noticed the bodies in the pen here.
Oh. The others don't look like they suffered easy deaths. What happened?
Montelli, damn him! He executed March and Pharaoh outright, ranting about traitors. Then the Consul Sentinel arrived to conduct a preliminary interrogation. She tortured us for information. The others didn't survive her enthusiasm for the work. I'm only here because the Consul wants someone brought back to him, alive. Lucky me. Thanks. Can't take all the credit, though. The Sentinel seemed spent by the time she got to me. Wore herself out on the others, I guess. Quick, though, before I forget or we're interrupted, I memorized the cipher. It's 02519W. Should help Zeb decode the intelligence we sent him a whole lot faster. Kind of you to offer, but I'm not going anywhere.
If you're too hurt to walk, I'm sure the commander and I could...
No, it's not that. I need the Sentinel to take me onto that transport. I want her to think she's won. And then, just as we leave orbit, I'm going to blow her pretty ship to pieces.
That might just be the most ruthless bait and switch I ever heard. Your friends ought to be proud.
Thanks. Funny what ideas come into your head after losing a molar. I'm no martyr. If there was another way to protect Zebulon and our cell, I'd take it. But if I escape, the Protectorate will pursue me, and everyone I care about will be in danger. I'll make it look like an accident. Mechanical failure. When I was being tortured, I saw some frayed wires near the fuel system. With the right spark, I think I can ignite it.
I have my doubts. Even if she managed to spark a few wires, that ship's bound to have a fire suppression system. It would kick in if there was any real ignition.
What do you propose, then?
Not blowing yourself up, for starters.
You know how relentless the Protectorate is. But if I die, that's the end of it. the consul will turn his attention elsewhere, and our cause can continue in the shadows. Please, if you can help me sabotage the transport, then help me. We don't have much time.
Might be I could sabotage the transport from the outside. Make it look like negligent maintenance. What do you think, Commander?
The others paid with their blood to protect the cause. How can I be unwilling to do the same? All right. I'm going to trust you on this, if only because I don't feel my head screwed on quite right at the moment. I just hope you're not wrong. No point in remaining here then, is there? I'll need you to find a way to unlock the gate to this pen. If you can't unlock it through nimble fingers, one of those freshly made corpses nearby should have a keycard on them. Talk about prepared. Quickly then, unlock the gate. Well done. I can manage from here. Tell Zeb I'll rendezvous with him later, once I've identified a safe place to meet. One last request. Don't damage the transport. A lone escapee is already insult, but a sentinel killed, her transport destroyed? The Protectorate won't ignore such outright injury. Anyway, thank you again. Look after yourselves.
I know what Audra said, but what if she's wrong? I can't help thinking we shouldn't leave without bloodying the Protectorate's nose first. I could still go through with our plan from before. Sabotage the transport, make it look like an accident. Wouldn't be hard. I'm torn. On the one hand, Audra might be right. But when else are we gonna have a chance to take out one of the consul's lackeys and a Protectorate vessel in one go? Thank you, Commander. Stay put. Shouldn't take me too long. Done. Won't go into the particulars, but you can trust that ship will blow the moment it hits orbit. Let's get back to Zeb. He still needs a cipher, and he'll want to hear about what happened with Audra.
You've returned, but where are the others? Hold a moment. What's that in the sky? A Protectorate transport? What in the blazes was that? What is it? What's happened?
A sentinel worked them over bad. Only Audra was still alive when we got there, and she was ready to blow herself up to take out that ship. Luckily, we found another way.
Damn the Protectorate. At least you were able to get through to Audra, and still find a way to avenge your fallen comrades. And what of the cipher?
Don't worry, Commander. I got this one. The cipher is 02519W.
Perhaps I was mistaken about your commitment to making amends, Niles. Thank you for being true.
Can't fault you for having doubts. But I have changed. I am changing.
I hope you'll both forgive me my earlier disposition. I'm not normally so surly. I'm pleased Niles has found such a supportive friend and ally. That's a rare thing in this colony. I haven't much to reward you with, but take this. It's something I had started on for Niles long ago. Hopefully it fits. This information came at a steep price, but I'll put it to good use. Expect to hear from me should our cause require further assistance from the Earth Directorate's best.
Can't get that Andy's Choice jingle out of my head. Hey, if I start humming it, you do what you gotta. Anyway, need something, Commander? Sure, always happy to tool around for a bit. What did you have in mind?
Oh, these damned bodies. Why can't we just bury the lot of them? Oh, I politely request you cease defiling the court. Be forewarned. We are in a heightened state of alarm due to unprecedented events. Unless you have official business here, I suggest you move on. Move on and leave me to hang all of these bodies, which I must shamefully confess may be beyond my capabilities, even without your distraction. Is that you there? Why do you have an Auntie's Choice abomination in tow?
Careful now. You're speaking to a soldier who could put one between your eyes at 100 paces back. Lucky for you, I'm here in good faith.
Ugh, no matter. I cannot afford to worry over you. I have a grave number of bodies to hang and not enough time to hang them. Now, what is it that you want?
Tomorrow's mandate will depend on today's remaining sanitary rations. In the event any of you may have forgotten what befalls traitors in these...
Vigilant Hogarth sent you? I wish I could help, but he's been named a traitor. These credentials might as well be stained in Protectorate blood. That being said, I am from Westport. If Hogarth trusts you, let's just say I'm willing to listen. The Brigadier sees enemies everywhere, sappers in every shadow. Approaching him under questionable license is to risk being shot. It's too dangerous for us both. While it pains me to act in what might be contrary to the Brigadier's personal conviction, I do believe the Sovereign would expect me to honor the Vigilance Station. Still, I can't simply have you saunter through the gates. It would cause a terrible stir. Though there must be a way. The gibbets. There is little view of who's within them, so I can use them to haul you into the station without notice. I won't lock them, so you can free yourself once inside. I remember her. She and I occasionally met to take pot shots at the local crabba population. She worked on the command floor. There's a chance she lingers, quietly continuing her work. Or she could be dead. Regardless, it has been quite some time since I saw her. Allow me to open them for you and your companions. Getting folks inside can be a little tricky, and try not to move much or they'll start swinging something fierce.
Can't believe that actually worked.
Come, quickly. We must all bear witness.
Technicians Acna and Gastrell, you stand accused of manufacturing a fatal flaw in one of our valued dragoons. Have you any last words to express your shame?
That dragoon was already defective. Oh, we were only rebuilding the logic assembly so that...
At last, the truth alights. I hope this belated confession unburdens your conscience, though it will do nothing to commute your sentence. On the charges of sabotage and treason most contemptible, I find you both guilty.
No, please! This is all a misunderstanding. We're loyal.
More loyal subjects executed. And valued technicians, no less. I cannot see how reducing our own manpower guides us down a path to victory. Wait. I recognize you. From Horizon Point. Yes, just outside the skip labs before the incident. We helped one another, didn't we? You with my record and I with the bridge. Please tell me you were not responsible for all the evil that transpired afterward. Others named Hogarth a traitor, but I never believed it. If anything, Montelli is inflicting more injury to the Protectorate right now than the whole of what Hogarth is accused of. In any case, the writ all but obliges me to aid you. Perhaps now we can put an end to all of this lunacy. If I can just speak with Montelli, maybe I can persuade him to stand down. Go to his terminal. Search for any information on it that may be deployed against him. Also, while you're there, notify High Command that I'm taking control of the station. I'll admit there's some risk in having my actions misinterpreted. I could be named a traitor, as Vigilant Hogarth was. Or sentimental refreshment. No. Surely High Command will understand the need for this transfer of power. What I do now, I do for the Protectorate, not myself. Besides, Montelli is not merely my superior. He's also an old friend. I must make some attempt to get through to him. Remind him of what true service to the Protectorate means. I'm not... How did you... By the matriarch. If I'm so transparent to a stranger, Montelli will surely perceive the same weaknesses in my character. Much as I prefer a peaceable solution, you're right. The Protectorate would be made stronger by his... passage. If he cannot serve as a general, he may yet serve as an example. It would still be best to investigate Montelli's terminal for anything that might unsettle or unbalance him before our confrontation. You will need your own access card to get upstairs. Blank key cards can often be found in the contraband room, and there's a terminal for encoding access in the security office. Head through the door to the right and continue down the hall. You should find your way without much trouble. Oh, but mind the guards. They'll still attack you on sight. I will join you as soon as you go to confront Montelli. In the meantime, I'll gather what weapons and allies I can.
Did you hear Montelli lock the thrusters?
I heard nothing, and neither did you.
But if the Vox relay launches, we won't be able to change its trajectory. It could land on one of our towns.
Are you questioning the actions of our brigadier?
No, of course not.
Good. I was sure I misunderstood you.
Hostile ahead. What's the play, Command?
Hey there. Reporting search.
To do your job is a virtue. Every part is a call. Every subject ensures a glorious bounty. Prudence dictates with the pedal and base of elements.
fine.
Much better. Dead location ascertained.
No target.
Hate to ask for help, but...
What you need to worry about. Hey, got a distraction for you.
That invit grab's tingling. All charged up.
Better go.
Top two, but I'm not ready.
Advance!
Always crabby.
Ready to waste them. On your command. Ain't just shooting in the thin air.
check enemy light just turned on.
Got my lamps on a hostile.
Sorta.
Back in business.
Distraction.
What?
Nothing there. Hit the wrong side of a frame.
Disruptive influences.
command of a rambling, nonsensical persecutor? Oh, hello there. You seem to have caught me at a most inopportune time. Was just, patrolling the sewers, monitoring for suspicious activity. Now, I must kindly ask that you vacate the vicinity. Your presence here is proving distracting, to put it mildly. The what? Word to the wise. A protectorate station is hardly the place to be making light of one's affiliations. Brigadier Montelli would be ecstatic to hear you spout such humorous quips. You'd be labeled a heretic, but I'm sure he'd chuckle as you swung from the gallows. Forgive my unease. I thought Montelli sent you to see to my execution, or some other absurdity. I don't know what's going on here. The station's changed. It's become a damn charnel house, stained with the blood of my brothers and sisters. I don't know what to do. I just don't wish to die. I can't... That'd be a fine idea. If only there weren't a group of starving raptidons that saw fit to make a den so close to the grate. I can? Oh. I suppose I'm now off to a world filled with uncertainty. Savage wildlife. And miscreants always on your heels. Here. This keycard should unlock a storage cache up above. It has some supplies in it that'll likely do you more good than they have me.
belt. We're locked and stocked.
Perfect society demands perfect thoughts. Perfection is impossible when the mind is a thing with symmetry. Huh? Back to it. To do your job is a virtue. Every hour is a hope. Every subject ensures glorious bounty over all. Hey now. Appreciate it.
This looks like a fight.
Move it to safety. Grenade! Away! Taking cover.
Huh. Appears our good brigadier is being guided by someone else's hand. You wager that influence is what pushed him over the edge?
What now? Ah, an intruder. Of course. I was warned the paradigm would test me, and here you have arrived. And Corbin. By your presence, am I to understand that you've turned renegade as well? Of all the serpents writhing beneath my boot, you were the last I expected to strike at me.
The only renegade here is you, Umberto. You forced my hand through your paranoia and cruelty.
I'm killing traitors. Seditionists. I am purging our prized garden of chokeweed and all manner of slithering things. My methods may seem callous, but a swift response to treason is necessary to prevent this crisis from worsening. Auntie's choice, bah! The invaders are vacuous opportunists dead from the collar up. They would not have found purchase here if not for the festering rot already in our soil.
Festering rot? Hell of a way to speak of your own forces, Brigadier.
Or perhaps your auntie's choice simply lacks the standards to separate out mediocrity. Nevertheless, I am not afraid to speak what's true. Our great protectorate has lost its way. Years of comfort and plenty without stricter enforcement have softened us, made us weak, undisciplined. If only the sovereign heeded his consul's wisdom, he could restore the protectorate's honor, instead of shaming his forebears by leaving such a grave task to others like myself. My vision was once as clouded as yours, but I see through the vapor and miasma now, to the truth of what must be done to render our mightiness anew.
It's as I feared. You really have gone beyond the reach of all reason and honor.
Enough! Silence your disparaging tongue. Better yet, I will do it myself.
Looking a little woozy there, Commander.
But I'm not ready. Yo, locked and loaded. Let's get over the one you need time. Bring all of the head.
Back in business.
Last moment, excruciating.
Let me know when you needed a stretch.
I'm risky moving. Back in business.
It's finished then. Montelli's reign of terror has ended. If you'd have told me all those years ago that this is where my future would lead, standing over Montelli's corpse, I'm not sure I would have wished to survive that disaster. What's done is done. I only hope my superiors will understand my actions here today, and that the Vox will be strengthened under new leadership. After I've summoned janitorial services, give the station the news. There'll be much that needs explaining. I suppose I should thank you for your assistance, but for both our sakes, I do hope we never meet again.
I don't know who you are or how you accessed my private terminal, but it won't do for prying eyes to have evidence of my activities. I've triggered the Vox Relay failsafe ejection routine. But worry not. After launching, the station will take several minutes to achieve its pre-programmed self-destruct altitude, so you'll have plenty of time to enjoy the ride before your death.
We gotta do something. If the Vox crashes into Fairfield, it'll kill a whole lot of my people and innocent civilians. Use the control panel. Do the right thing. You know damn well it isn't helping the Protectorate kill a number of us when we aren't even in the fight. Aim it elsewhere on the island. Fire it into space. I don't care, so long as you don't doom everybody in Fairfield for nothing. It's a relief to hear you say so. Go on then, Commander. We're short on time as it is. We gotta move, quick! I begged you, Commander. I begged you to... This is the control room. Bet you last month's earnings that DeVries left her mark here.
I don't know who you... I've triggered the... So you'll have to...
We gotta do something. If the Vox crashes into Fairfield, it'll kill a whole lot of my people and innocent civilians. Use the control panel. Do the right thing. It's a relief to hear you say so. Go on then, Commander. We're short on time as it is. Gotta move, quick!
No offense to Val, but it's real nice having someone watching my back who ain't in constant need of recalibration. Anyway, need something, Commander? Oh yeah? What's needling you? Fair point. Guess Horizon Point didn't exactly foster a lasting fellowship, did it? All jesting aside, what's there to tell? Spent the first year getting back up on my feet, literally. Been mostly laying low since then, maintaining my cover. Before the invasion, at least, the Earth Directorate still needed someone to watch the colony, and I had 2 working lamps. Not always. Went a couple of stretches there on low power to avoid detection from Protectorate patrols. I usually shut her down for a few cycles then. The way you're gawping at me right now makes me think I answered that question wrong. I appreciate the concern. Won't lie, had some hard years. Got caught up in a few lost causes, the particulars of which I'd rather not go into now, if it's all the same. I found you. Oh, and Val's been stalling less since I patched her acclimator. Ship doesn't smell anymore. That's about it. Spratwurst. I was trying to teach myself some new skills in the galley. Val got it into her hardware, I needed a hobby. I figured Spratwurst ain't an easy meal to mess up. Nothing like a small grease fire in space to get the vitals pumping. Like most colonies, good people being ground down from above. A lot of fancy talk from suits about streamlining and quarterly earnings while them on the line barely scrape by. Triangulum's known for churning out freighters, and shipbuilding ain't exactly known for being clean, safe work neither. Especially when corners get cut. Can't remember a time I didn't end the day all banged up, filthy, and smelling like I just crawled out of an exhaust port. You never forget your first time manually flushing a propulsion tank, do you? Funny thing was, I wasn't even an engineer back then. But I wanted to learn, so I paid attention. Too good of attention, as it turned out. I was working late one evening and overheard something I shouldn't have. Some bigwigs exchanging inside information that would have cost the corporation a pretty bit. A day later, I was being accused of corporate espionage. Didn't want to bring any heat down on anyone else, so I went on the run before the first jackboot showed up at my door. Oh, now, you'll have to tell me what those other things are sometime. I was on the run for, I don't even know how long. The days sort of bled into one another. I started losing hope of things ever changing for the better. Then, the Earth Directorate showed up. They liberated Triangulum, pulling me and the rest of the colony out from under the corporate boot. Joining up after that just made sense. I could ask you the same thing. Sometimes I wonder what would have happened if I'd gone back to my old life instead of becoming an agent. Stayed on Triangulum, become an engineer or something near to it. I knew joining up with the Earth Directorate wasn't going to be a life of low turbulence, but at least it'd have dignity and purpose to it. Not much dignity in having your limbs blown off. Sorry, that was blunt. I just get tired of talking around it, you know? But back to your initial question, do I regret becoming an agent? Yeah, some days. But then there's days like the one when I found you, and well, not much to regret there. Only thing I know for sure is my opinion today is colored by more than just the rosy tint of a low-run kid looking up at the stars. Life's not fair, but it keeps on. You buttering me up for a favor? I'll tell you right now, I'm not taking extra shifts cleaning the head. Ah, well then, thanks. Just hope that good opinion of me holds.
Introducing Auntie's new line of specialty drinks for the discerning consumer.
You know, I can't recall seeing any of these protectorate types ever run a scam.
People think I got ejected from the saloon because I'm fishing for a win. Maybe I am.
Did you hear? The Vox relay has launched into the stratosphere, and it landed in Westport, turning the whole town into a crater. It's very fortunate I enlisted you when I did, or the town's populace would lie in the city's smoldering remains. We are beyond fortunate that no one was injured. Aside from those in the relay itself, I suppose.
Never expected the Westport refugees would ever be liable to leave their derelicts. Can't help but hand it to Milver Street. Though I sense he had aid. Make it quick, yeah?
A lot of fresh blood in the talent pool around here.
Ever wonder if our assignment here will never end? Like our employment contract.
Ah, there you are. I was expecting you 4 minutes and 27 seconds ago. But never mind that. I have a missive for you. Highest priority. Recipient's eyes only. All I can tell you is that it is from Arcadia's most judicious custodians, the Order of the Ascendant. I am not privy to any information beyond that. Oh, they did also say it was important. I was tasked 6 months ago to deliver it to whomever ship was at this landing pad at this exact time. Well, 4 minutes ago, like I said. All other questions may be answered by viewing the missive, I expect. Farewell, and as they say, may all your endeavors come to fruition.
Time to watch whatever it was the messenger had for us.
Greetings, Agent of the Earth Directorate. I am Ruth Bassar, presiding bishop of the Order of the Ascendant. At this time, I can only presume you think us your enemy, directly responsible for your colleague Augustine de Vries' actions way back on Horizon Point. I assure you, we were not. A splinter group was behind that heresy. The collective of scientists and scholars I lead are committed to elevating humanity by pursuing a greater understanding of reality. I believe our goals are not incompatible. We both oppose the Protectorate, and we both wish to preserve Arcadia from ruin. We can help each other. I entreat you to speak with Abbot Newell. He can be found in Golden Ridge at Matriarch's mercy. He will aid you in your mission, and hopefully, you will see fit to aid us in ours. Nav key coordinates to the Golden Ridge landing pad on Dorado are embedded in this message. Go forth as was determined, and may the plan guide you.
Reckon we've got our work cut out for us? Let's head to Golden Ridge.
My system still ain't gotten the memo we're clear of the relay. I'm itching to keep running. We're damn lucky we got out in time, Commander. I'm glad we were able to convince all the Westport townsfolk to go to Fairfield when we could. Seeing the wreckage now, a town wiped entirely off the map, it's sobering. Oh, law. Now Milver Street's gonna boast about snatching those folk from the jaws of death, ain't he? Good luck to them. Sounds like your old pal de Vries was in deep with the Order. Now, I don't know a whole lot about them, but I don't reckon fanatical is part of their employee code of conduct. And as you've seen, that kind of loyalty can pose a real problem to everyone else. But we'll track her down before it comes to a head. Don't you worry. Fine by me. Oh, I see. You're here to gossip. All right, let's hear it. Who do you want to talk about? Seems friendly enough, if a mite guarded and a little thick-headed in his view of Auntie's choice. Regardless, I can assure you I'll treat him with the same respect I show you. Though I reckon he's seen his fair share of struggles over the years, no matter how he tries to hide it. Think he ought to ask for help when he needs it.